everybody, and welcome to another edition of Proline as we hit the double-digit mark in weeks in the National Football League. The season rolling right along. It is Week 10. We've got some good games to look at today. The Broncos and Chargers meeting in San Diego, and we'll also look at the Sunday game between the Carolina Panthers and the San Francisco 49ers. Certainly, I think we'd have to qualify as the marquee matchup of the week. Before we get to any of that, let's tell you who's here. I'm Dave Koken. Jim Feist is here. Mike Scalliott as well, who's one of the top Vegas handicappers. Great to have Mike on board. And before we do anything, let's get to you, Jim. We've got college hoops beginning on Friday with a huge schedule. I mean, it's just an enormous schedule of games. So a lot of work for us and a lot of winners for our customers. And you've got a huge weekend special going.
Dave, I put in, a bill, and I need more hours in the day.
Yeah, really.
With the college and pro football and college and pro basketball, and this is the greatest time of year for bettors, and it's just so many opportunities to make money, to cash in. I want everybody to get in on this, because from now through the end of the football season, we've got college and pro basketball, college and pro football. There's lots of opportunities. Now, we're going to start off with a special this weekend. College basketball starts on Friday. You can play through Monday. Get all the football and all the basketball plays for $20. That's it, $20. 1-866-841-1655. Just dial 1-866-841-1655. $20, football and basketball, right through Monday.
I've also got some good stuff coming up in college basketball, a lot of preseason work that I've gotten done, and I think I'm going to be ahead of the curve, as is usually the case. Numbers are a little bit soft early in the season, a lot of times based as much on perception and last year as reality. And if you focus on the reality, you can pick up some winners. But I've also got some big stuff in football this weekend, a monster college rivalry game on Saturday that I really like, and an AFC game of the year, conference game of the year in the NFL going on Sunday. Now, you sign up early, and you're going to get these plays plus a bonus football winner that goes tonight. Everything for $25. Oh, excuse me, $15. See that? It's $15, not $25. I can't read. So make sure and call right away on this and get set for what I think is going to be an outstanding weekend. College football last week, Oklahoma State was the big offshore move. We had Wisconsin, Kansas State as big plays, Utah State as well, and missed with Tulane. But, I'm not going to complain about one loser out of that bunch. NFL actually would have been a great Sunday and Monday, but I did get on the wrong side of, I think, the two worst beats of the weekend with the Buffalo Bills on Sunday and Houston on Monday, or Houston Sunday night, I should say. What are you going to do? That's the ebbs and flows. Sometimes you pick the right side and you don't get paid, and that's just all there is to it. But I'm no complaints at all with the way football is going. So get this special, these two monster games in college and pro, and then get the bonus football winner tonight for just $15. 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. Mike, you had another winning weekend, and you've got some great stuff you're going to be loading up at JimFeist.com.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. I got a NFL 3-pack going Sunday for just $30, and I got my SEC game of the week on Saturday for $25. Last week I had the conference play of the week with Georgia Tech, -10, getting the cover over Pittsburgh. So if you go to JimFeist.com, all these picks are available. Just look for Mike Scalliott at JimFeist.com and get some winners this week.
Yeah, terrific question this week for our Twitter question of the week. And by the way, you want to make sure and follow us on Twitter at Jim Feist Sports, or friend us at Facebook at Proline TV. This came in from Phil Cantwell. It was in Nashville. And he says it was a week of bad NFL beats. Dolphins 22-20 with a safety in overtime. The Chargers blow a touchdown and then lose in overtime. Saints-Jets lands right on the number, on the total. Texans blow the big lead. The Buffalo Bills thing with that 14-point turnaround and the 100-yard pick. Jim, what's the worst beat you've ever had?
Well, there are too many to really. It's hard, but you have a good game. There's so many times where you pick the right side and you don't you don't win. You said that. But there are times, too, when you make a mistake and you pick the wrong side and you do get lucky.
Yep.
And that happens, too. It just doesn't happen as often because most of the time, if you do your work, you're not going to be on the wrong side that much. It's kind of like I play a lot of poker, and so I'll suffer a lot more bad beats because most of the time when I get my money in, I have the best hand. So if I have the best hand, say 9 out of 10 times or 90 out of 100 times, it's really hard to put a bad beat on somebody else because I'm really in a position where I'm the favorite. So it happens in sports as well. Like last week, I had the Texans. I believe personally that if the coach didn't go down at halftime, I would have won that game. I had the over in the Miami-Cincinnati game. That's another situation where anything but the safety or a tie, I go over the 42 instead of tying it. So, I mean, these kind of things happen. That is part of the game, and that's why anybody that says they can hit 90% in these sports is crazy, and because it's not possible to overcome all of that stuff. And of course, then you have injuries, like anybody that bet on the Packers or the Packers over and lost Aaron Rodgers in the first quarter. You know, they really never had a chance. That's at that point. I mean, they may not have covered anyway because McCown played a lot better than anybody gave him credit for, but the game likely would have gone over with Aaron Rodgers in there. So let me turn this phone off. It's just making too much noise.
Yeah, I like the song though.
So anyway, there's a lot of bad beats out there, especially if you're a good handicapper and you're on the right side. So that happens.
I'll give you just one that I was on last year. I think because I want recent memory ones tend to stay with you a little longer. The Belk Bowl, Cincinnati and Duke. Duke, I've got Duke plus the points. You can't lose the game. You can't lose. I mean, they're up. They're winning the game. They're getting 9. They've got the ball inside the Cincinnati 10-yard line with, 150 to go, something like that. And not only did they not win the game, they didn't cover either. They ended up losing by 10. It was an impossible loss, and it lost. I can give you the luckiest winner I ever had. I'll never forget this because it can't happen anymore. This was a college football game. It was USC Arizona State years ago. I'm on the wrong side of the game. I laid about a touchdown. I don't remember the exact number, but I laid a touchdown with USC and goes to overtime. So I got the wrong side. This was before they changed the overtime rule. USC scores, and then Arizona State, they get the football, and there's a pick. Now that would be the game would be over now under the rules now, but back then it wasn't, and the guy ran it all the way back down for a touchdown. They didn't kick the extra point, so USC wins by 13, and I won my bet. If you're on the opposite side of that, that's all-time bad beat material. Mike, you got one that sticks out in your mind either way?
Yeah, Dave. In fact, I had that game you're just talking about with Jake Plummer. When I heard the score, he said, how'd they win by 13? I said, what the hell happened here? I couldn't believe it. I was in my car listening to KYW out of Philadelphia. But this year, early in the season, I had a bad beat with Houston. I mean, they're up 2 touchdowns with Seattle, and Matt Schaub, like 4 minutes to go, instead of like taking a sack or throwing a ball away, he throws a pick 6 to Sherman, and they end up losing the game in overtime. But like I said to Jim earlier, in all the years we've been doing this, you have so many bad beats, you just have to forget about them and move on, But that Arizona State game, I remember it well, Dave.
Yeah, that is definitely my luckiest win of all time. All right, let's check in before we get into games. Let's check in with our man on the street. That's Jeff Saad from LVSS with a free NFL total and a great offer for this weekend. Jeff?
Thanks, guys. Got a free pick coming up in the NFL, but first, it's week 11 of college football, and I've got a blockbuster Saturday special, a 5-play college countdown, including my blowout game of the year and early kickoff. All 5 plays are $25 with a guarantee, 4-1 or 5-0, where the rest of November is free. Sign up early and get a bonus TV winner tonight. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916. Free play comes the NFL on Sunday. The Texans and Cardinals meet in Arizona. Quarterback Carson Palmer is past his prime, but he has upgraded the Arizona passing attack, 221 yards per game. They're on a 2-1 run over the total after a 27-13 win over Atlanta, as the offense had 348 yards. But the Arizona secondary ranks 23rd against the pass, plus Houston QB Case Keenum looks pretty good with 4 TDs and no picks his last 2 games against tough defenses, Indy and KC. He faces a Houston team that is 5-3 over the total, including the last game, a 27-24 loss at home. Take the Texans and the Cardinals to go over the total. Once again, I've got a blockbuster Saturday special, a 5-play college countdown, including my blowout game of the year and early kickoff. All 5 plays is $25 with a guarantee. 4-1 or 5-0, or the rest of November is free. Sign up early and get a bonus TV winner. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916.